Hey guys, welcome back to the Flag Nerds podcast. This is, I think, episode 8 now.
Believe so, yeah.
All right, so yeah, episode 8, and yeah, it's been about a month, I think, since the last episode.
Roughly. Yeah.
Yeah, and a fair bit of things actually did happen, uh, in this past month. Still working on trying to get a job. That's a major thing.
Yeah. I'm finally starting to get back on my feet. I should hopefully by next end of next week I should be at least comfortable on income.
Yeah, right now I'm at negative $300.
I've got 94 cents. So,
Yeah, it's rough.
oh yeah. Definitely rough.
Yeah. Uh, one thing that happened, or well, is about to happen actually. Uh, uh, on Saturday is that I'm actually uh in an ultimate tournament.
Cool.
Yeah. It's been like 3-4 months since I've been in a tournament in general.
Right.
But this is gonna be difficult for me because it's online, and I'm not good at online.
No. And then you're fighting with Nintendo's peer to peer connection.
Yeah, it's just so bad.
Oh yeah.
And
There's a reason Smash Online does not have a good reputation.
yeah, and like I'm also like in a bit of a character crisis right now because like I don't know who to use particularly for the tournament. I might
Right.
just stick with Little Mac as I have been for uh, the past couple of tournaments that I've been to. But I don't know if I should like stick with my mains with with my three mains Little Mac I can Ganondorf, or if I should use the Samuses because I've been getting really good with the
Right.
Samuses, and they're broken online.
Yeah.
Like I've been even getting good with Zero Suit, weirdly enough.
I could see it.
Yeah. Granted, I've been watching a lot of Mars content. Hello, Blake. Now she's in frame.
Yeah. Yep. She does what she likes.
It's a cat. What do you expect? But
Yeah.
yeah, like I've been playing Samus and Dark Samus as of late, and I've been getting really good with them. Like a couple of weeks ago, I had the guys over and we were playing Ultimate, and
Right.
pretty much every free for all that I used the Samuses, I was winning.
I mean, that works.
Yeah, I'm just like, how am I doing this good with all three Samuses?
I mean, to be fair, the Samuses aren't exactly difficult characters.
No, but like, well, Zero Suit is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But the other two aren't as too bad. Yeah, but to use them effectively, it's kind of difficult
Yeah.
because you need to know how to utilize range.
Yeah.
And me and one of our other friends, Jaren, like we're sort of like the range guys
Yeah.
because it's so like because he plays like a little bit of he plays a little bit of Robin and mostly Richter,
Okay.
and so like he knows how to play range in Ultimate, and then for me in fighting games, I tend to play weirdly ranged characters. Like
Right.
I play Deathstroke in Injustice, and then I play uh Axel in Guilty Gear. So
Axel's such an annoying shit. I
yeah,
don't share the hate for him that a lot of people do, but he's annoying.
he's like low tier right now.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of other characters that are just better.
Yeah, specifically Happy Chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot like once Happy came out, a lot of Axel players and also a lot of like Eddie players, uh, or Zato, not Eddie, a lot of Zato players, switched over to Happy Chaos. Leffen being one of them, uh,
yeah,
and he actually ended up winning Evo for Guilty Gear, like 2 weeks ago.
right.
Yeah, that's another major thing that happened. Evo.
Yep. I didn't tune into Evo at all.
Yeah, I only tuned in uh, on uh, on finals day, so basically Sunday,
Yeah.
and that it was a lot of fun to watch. Uh,
Oh, I'm sure.
the person I was rooting for in Guilty Gear won. Obviously, I was rooting for Leffen because melee.
Right.
Uh, and then in uh um in Marvel vs. Capcom, uh, it, yeah, I know they had Marvel this year finally in the top
I
lineup.
think if I remember right, from what I heard at Evo, they had Guilty Gear, Street Fighter 6, and a couple of others.
Yeah, yeah. So it was Guilty Gear, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 7, more Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, because
Uh,
one's not out yet.
yeah. Uh, Type Lumina. Or what's it called?
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Why am I Melty Blood? There we go. Melty Blood Type Lumina,
Yeah.
and I think Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes. Which is surprising with fighters. Like, it's still popular, but it's like surprising to see that at Evo.
Yeah. Oh, and also Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah. Out of those, I only play four of them, and that's I played UMVC 3, uh, Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter 6, and Mortal Kombat 11, and then Guilty Gear, so 5.
Hmm.
Um, and I was getting pretty good at Dragon Ball Fighters. There was a lot I still needed to learn, but I was able to hold my own at least against my friends.
Yeah.
So
What Unist? I forgot about Unist.
yeah,
Under Night in Birth. That was the other game that was showcased.
yeah, but let's be fair, that's a more niche community.
That not as niche as Melty Blood.
True, true. It's still a niche community.
Yeah,
Like,
but in terms of the top lineup, that was
yeah.
all that was the 8 in the lineup. There's usually 9, but there's no Smash anymore at Evo. So
Oop. They could have done King of Fighters because KOF 15 is a thing.
wait, they did do King of Fighters. I forgot about King of Fighters.
Hey, yeah, I played KOF 15. It's fun. I plan
That's
on getting it.
Yeah, it's yeah, it is a lot of fun. We talked about KO
Yeah,
15
we've talked about KOF.
probably in the
Yeah,
like the last 2 episodes.
more than likely.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting games, since we're on the topic, Mortal Kombat 1. Been a lot of trailers coming out.
Oh yeah.
Most recent
Rep,
one being
rep.
Sindel and Shao,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Shindel and Shao Kahn.
he's not Shao Kahn anymore. He's
It's
just
just
General
Shao.
Shao
Yeah.
because he's not a Khan. He's not a leader.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, and then they showed off Raiden, which
Right.
I like what they're doing with Raiden.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Sindel is she's fucking
Shindel's
interesting.
crazy.
Her fatality is fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Like I think they took inspiration from her 11 fatality to make it better. And then Shao, ooh, he's a lot faster than we've seen him before.
Yeah. He
Like
he's going in like insane,
it seems like they really want this to be a more fast-paced Mortal Kombat.
which is good.
Yeah, that's kind of what Mortal Kombat's been about is a lot of the flashy plays and just huge combos.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you have Street Fighter and Tekken, which are more about heavy hits and more of like set what the fuck's the term?
Footsies.
Yeah, footsies.
Neutral.
Neutral game. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Mortal Kombat, it's if you can start your combo going and keep it going, you're probably taking off 80 to 90%.
Mm.
Oh, and then they showed off at least as an assist, they showed off I think it's um Ataro, the centaur.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Ataro or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking. Yeah, yeah. He was like one of the bosses in UMK3.
Yeah. We had leaks that he was going to be in the game as a assist. I don't remember what the actual term they used for this game is. But they're assists.
Yeah,
And he's interesting because he has a reflector and it's a push forward reflector so you can make distance with it. So it's interesting. I'm curious how it's going to work.
yeah.
Because they show it off by having him counter Raiden's projectiles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then Reptile. They showed off.
Reptile, yep.
Yo, Reptile looks so good.
I'm glad they went with his like more the Mortal Kombat movie back from like the 90s or
No,
really old movie.
actually, no, no. They went for more of a design aspect from the recent Mortal Kombat movie.
I haven't seen the new one, so
Specifically his lizard design.
yeah. But I like this design. It fits better and it's a little more coherent. Like it makes more sense.
Yeah,
Um, but then let's be fair. One of the characters everyone's hyped for is Havoc.
yeah. Well, I wasn't initially because I didn't know who that was.
Oh, I saw him too, and I'm like, you look familiar. Who the fuck are you? Like, I know you. Who are you? And then my friend's like, oh yeah, that's Havoc, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. Havoc, yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
he's
more excited for Lee May. I'm more excited for Lee.
yeah. I actually initially didn't know who Lee May was.
Because she's such an obscure character.
Yeah,
Her and um the one demon chick. I can't remember her name.
yeah. I don't know her name either, but yeah,
Like a lot. They're showing off a lot of characters we haven't seen in actual years.
yeah. It's because of the fact that the timeline reset. So we
Yep.
have so,
Chances for them to make sense to be back.
yeah, except for Jackie. Jackie, I don't understand, or not Jackie. What Takeda?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how that works.
Because in Mortal Kombat 9, or not 9, 11, 10,
Yeah.
Jackie and Takeda are married.
Well, okay. 10, they're dating. 11, it's confirmed that they're at least engaged to be
Right,
married.
right, yeah.
Because 10, there's a lot of quotes specifically from Takeda of him and Jackie dating, and Jax losing his shit because Jax is Jax. And then in 11, it's confirmed with some other voice lines between Jackie and a couple characters. One of those being the Joker, weirdly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. I can't see Liu Kang trying to fuck with that because that's not really a bad thing. But it really brings up of like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah.
Because we thought that what the hell are they called? I think they're called the Combat Kids or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Because Cassie, Jackie, Takeda, and then
Kung Lao, I think.
no, not Kung Lao.
Kung Jin?
Kung Jin. Yes, Kung
Yeah.
Jin. They were the four like combat kids, and Kung Jin was the weird one because he's not from like any one of the main cast. He was more of just a Shaolin monk.
Yeah.
But from what it sounds like, we're expecting Cassie at some point or something. Like they talked about Cassie, so it's like, how's that gonna work? And then we got confirmation with Takeda. He's gonna be in the DLC.
Yeah.
Also, I'll get to the DLC in a minute with Ermac because Ermac's design is stupid, in my opinion.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Hold on, my camera's.
I don't like Ermac's design because it's like they're having this weird thing of like Ermac has to be a mummy, and it's like
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
like I don't mind that he's back, like that's cool, but why does he always have to be a mummy? Like that's my thing.
it's because they had to like drastically change the red ninja. They had to drastically change like
Yeah, they
what the
had to make him
ninjas
stand
were.
out. Yeah,
Y-
because like I get that, but it's like you could have done something other than just a dead man. So
I mean, like, that's
that's
kind of
just
what smoke is. So,
true. Well, at least Smoke looks fucking good in this
or
game.
no, not smoke. Noob Saibot. There we go.
Okay, at least with Noob, it was like he's literally dead and was brought back to life, whereas Ermac is just a vessel of souls.
Yeah,
And I will admit, it was nice seeing Noob Saibot back in 11. His voice gets a little old after a while,
mm-hmm.
so. But there are a lot of characters I'm curious what they're going to be like in one, or
Mm.
at least in this new timeline, because they're probably going to do one through however many. I'm assuming they're just going to do one, two, three.
Yeah,
Because I think that's where the original timeline was supposed to stop, and then there was that whole stupid fucky shit
yeah,
with time travel. Because that's the thing people don't realize: is time travel was in play as in early as like Mortal Kombat 3, because Raiden resets the
oh
timeline
right,
because he fucks up the tournament, destroys Earthrealm, and then he's like, "No, we need to go back," or he sends a message to past Raiden or some fucking stupid shit where he's
yeah,
like, "Don't kill Liu Kang, don't be a dumbass," like
yeah. I think he does that in like Deception or something like that.
something. But it's like time. This wasn't their first time fucking with time travel,
Yeah, because
so
they did it again in 9 and then again in 11,
yeah.
and now this is
In
just
11, it
following 11.
yeah. Which I'm hoping with the reset of the timeline, we can see like we're getting the thing of bringing characters back that the fans have wanted to see for years that they couldn't because they were either dead or we didn't know where the hell they were.
Yeah,
So like we got Havoc, we have Lee May, we have the one demon bitch. Like so, what I'm seeing is everyone is loving Johnny Cage and his new attitude with this game.
yeah,
Which, to be fair, yeah, that makes sense. Like, and I don't care for his design, but it is a nice new look for him instead of the same thing we've had for like the last 15 years. Because from 9, 10, 11, he hasn't changed looks a whole lot.
yeah. He doesn't change at all. Whereas Cassie, she
Well,
does change a bit.
you mean Sonya?
Oh yeah, Sonya does also change.
To be fair with Sonya, in 9 and 10, well, 9, she's like, I think she's still on that military stuff. In 10, her and Johnny are a thing, which that came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Well, not
I'm just
really
like, what?
nowhere, but
Why?
like, well, then not only that, they have a kid.
Yeah,
So, um, and then 11 comes around, and then Sonya dies, so they have her, basically her past version coming and taking over
mm-hmm.
her. And it's just like, yeah, it's a interesting storyline, and it's confusing.
Yeah,
So, but I definitely plan on getting the game. I plan on getting one.
yeah. It comes out in 2 weeks.
Yep. I plan on actually pre-ordering it hopefully on Monday.
I don't have the
I don't
money.
plan on get I don't plan on getting the deluxe edition or whatever for the fucking
Yeah,
pre-order bonus. Well, and it's like I'm not doing that stupid like 3-day beta or whatever the heck it is.
yeah.
I'm like I'm just going to wait for the game to come out. I'll play it when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with pre-order, I'll have the early access to Shang Tsung, so I'll get to see what he's like. Though I'm pretty sure I'm either going to be playing Lee May or Smoke. I'm not sure yet.
I'm definitely gonna be playing Sonya.
Yes, yeah, Sonya looks like she's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also showed off. I think it's Tanya as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
I think they showed her off, and then we didn't see an assist with her, which everyone's thinking is weird. Um, so we'll have to see what they do with that because they've been showing off assists with every single character they show off, and Tanya was the one that they didn't do that for,
yeah.
which was weird.
Also, so Baraka.
Baraka looks interesting. Like watching
Yeah,
him fight was interesting. He's a
yeah,
heavy, like just rush down.
yeah. Also now, instead of like the Tarkatans being a race, it's
Yeah,
now
it's a
a
disease.
virus.
Yeah, and I like the Melina and Katana are sisters, and are actual sisters, and Melina is controlling Outworld.
Yeah, but
I
it's
like
still,
that.
although it still looks like Katana's like a part of the like elite group of like women
Warriors,
soldiers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it seems like what how they have it is Melina is the queen, but Katana is like her bodyguard and like her personal like protector.
Mm.
That I think that's what they're going for. And I like that Sindel isn't some evil witch, which to be fair, that was mostly because of Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Um and I
She's just
like
their
that they're
mother.
trying yeah, she's just a mom who isn't afraid to put her general in place cuz yeah, we got that little bit from the cutscene
Yeah.
of her literally telling General Shao to be like calm your bloodlust. So, definitely can't wait to see I can't wait to see the story because it's going to be interesting.
Also, so, so now Mortal Kombat basically has the equivalent of the Dora Milaje,
Yeah.
which when I saw that initial trailer, that was my that was like my first thought when I saw like the that elite group of female warriors. I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's just the Dora Milaje from Black Panther.
Yep. Um, yeah. So, definitely excited for Mortal Kombat 1
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, but I'm definitely not I'll definitely be pre-ordering it, but I don't plan on getting anything higher than just the base game.
Yeah, same.
So, um let's see.
Oh, I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about Snow White and the situation with
Oh,
that,
yeah, that thing that's going on.
because that the whole situation with that is that like Disney's trying to be woke with that and failing hard.
Yeah. So, my opinion on this, because people have had very wildly different opinions on this. So, my opinion on it is I'm not against them trying new stuff. But if you already have something kind of concretely already made,
Yeah, if you have something
maybe don't fuck with it.
established, yeah,
Yeah. Like, with the Little Mermaid and her being a different race, that was like, okay, whatever.
yeah, that's fine.
Because in all of the books, I don't, or all of the books and all of their writings, I don't think they ever really specify her skin color
It also
as
doesn't
like
take away.
being,
Yeah, it also doesn't take away from the
no.
story.
Um, But then you have like a good example was I heard someone say it was like if you take James Bond and try to have a black guy play him, it doesn't work because all of his descriptions are like a white guy with blue eyes.
Yeah,
Where but you could still do something like that where you do a James Bond character but not James Bond, but you just have a new spy that's very very similar to his skill level but a different skin color.
yeah,
Like you could do that and that would be fine.
yeah. Like
But
Trevor Noah does a pretty good bit
yeah,
about like a black James Bond.
right. But back to Snow White. Yeah, I don't get why they're changing the whole novelization of Snow White's being this independent woman that doesn't need to rely on anyone when it's like that wasn't really the point of the story. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't even of like a woman depending on a man. It was just oh, a damsel in distress was literally put to sleep by a evil queen just
yeah,
needed someone like
yeah. It's like once she was cursed,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. She was cursed to
to
have that
eternal
happen to
sleep.
her. Yeah, and then also the thing with the seven dwarves.
Yeah.
This whole situation with the seven dwarves thing is because of Peter Dinklage.
Hmm.
He completely ruined like all of like dwarf character
Yeah. Whether he meant to
generalizations.
intentionally or not.
Yeah, yeah. Not just with the seven dwarves, but also with the Oompa Loompas, because
Yep.
because now we have I'm forgetting what his name is, but he's a big like British actor. Hugh Grant. Now we have Hugh Grant playing an Oompa Loompa rather than an actual
Yeah.
little person.
Yeah. that was the thing that a lot of people are like, is it's not that hard to find actors that are uh little people, because you have plenty of actors out there that can do the job,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of talent out there that has like untapped potential out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, if they remade, this is probably the best example I have, at least for myself, for where I'd have a reaction. If say they remade Lord of the Rings, which they don't need to, there's no reason, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they had Gimli played by some 5'9" person, it'd be like, okay, no, Gimli is supposed to be like 3 foot, like I don't actually remember what his exact height is, but he's fucking short. He's a dwarf,
Yeah.
and you're having him be the height of Aragorn. No, that ain't gonna work, my friend.
Yeah. Exactly.
So people can be mad about it as much as they want. The dwarves should be paid by people that are of the correct height,
Mm-hmm.
because height isn't something you can really control in a person. Um, Unfortunately, because I
Yeah.
hate the fact that I'm 6'4". Because yeah, that makes it life fun. Um, but yeah, it's, and a lot of people are trying to throw this whole Snow White thing as entirely the LGBT's fault, and it's like, no, this is companies trying to do stupid shit because people are doing stupid shit.
Yeah. It's not like the woke left fault. It's Peter
It's
Dinklage's
just,
fault and Disney's fault.
yeah, it's Disney trying to be hip and be whatever the trend is, when in reality they should just stick to what they know best.
Yeah. Also, they're changing it to the Seven Bandits,
Something like that, yeah.
which again also doesn't make any sense because the dwarves
Yeah,
are minors.
yeah.
Or
At that point, a lot of people are like, why not just make a new story? Just make a new
yeah,
princess. Like,
yeah, like there's already an established story there,
yeah,
and like you're trying to completely alter what was
yeah.
already
Like,
pretty
they're
okay.
literally, yeah. All of the old stories are pretty good. Leave them as they are. If you want to do something similar to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, just make a new princess.
Yeah,
People might be like, oh, this is kind of like similar to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but it's a little different. But at least they'll be like, you're not trying to change the fucking story. Like,
yeah,
you made a new story.
it's like if you want to make like a live action thing that has a live action princess type thing
Yeah,
that is like a strong female lead
yeah,
and that kind of a thing. There are other sources that Disney
oh
has
yeah,
made,
yeah.
and there have been other sources that Disney has made so far.
They've had, yeah, they've had plenty of examples
They,
of strong, independent princesses who don't need help. Elsa being one of them.
yeah, yeah, they have Elsa. They had Mulan, although that flopped.
Yeah.
They
There's
they have Jasmine.
Jasmine. The one girl from, I think it's Brave.
Yeah, Merida. They have Merida.
Yeah, Merida.
But no, that's Pixar.
Um, it still will prove a point.
Either
It
way.
still proves a point because Pixar is with Disney, so
Yeah. So yeah, they have
um,
Merida. They have Moana.
yeah. I need
They
to go back and watch Mulan, like the old Mulan.
yeah, they have Penelope.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
they technically also they have Belle.
Yeah. Because she was, yeah, Belle was definitely one I was thinking of, and then they have plenty of options. They
Yeah,
have a lot of options.
yeah. They also have Tiana.
Yep.
Like
Also, if you
if
wanna,
you want to have like a woke type of story
yeah,
with an ethnic type of character, just remake Princess and the Frog.
yeah,
That's like perfect for that. Just remake
yeah,
Princess and the Frog. Leave
yeah,
Snow White alone.
yeah,
Make a live action Princess and the Frog.
yeah. Um, the one thing I just want people to stop doing this. Stop thinking that every time a company is doing something, it's because of a certain of people. Like this whole, I think a lot of people blamed a lot of Snow White stuff on like the LGBT, and it's like, no, that's not their fault. The LGBT, yes, we have bad eggs. That happens.
Yeah,
That's in any
yeah,
group. I can tell you right now, LGBT, plenty of bad eggs. Your religious groups, there's plenty of bad eggs out there.
Oh
Your
yeah.
politicians, bad eggs out there. The furry community, plenty of bad eggs in there. But you know what? The problem is the good people who are trying to make a good name are getting drowned out by the negativity.
Yeah.
Like myself, I would like to spread positivity on the trans community and knowledge of transgenderism, but the problem is it's drowned out by people either not wanting to learn or they're just being fed negativity and there are fed in misinformation.
Specifically, everybody on the right.
Yes, there is people on the left that are also not
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah.
It's just at this point I just don't politicians. I just say people are being stupid and they're not using their heads. It takes
Yeah.
the politics out of it, and it's just people are being dumb.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're
speaking
trying
of,
to ban like drag
yeah,
stuff, which is just
the funny thing I saw, I actually got told by a trans friend of mine that in Brazil they actually just ban, or actually not banned, they made it illegal to be homophobic. So they actually, in a ruling, I think it was 9-3, they were like, homophobic. If you're being like homophobic or like in a really negative way, like similar like if you were being um racist or stuff like that, um, it's actually punishable up to 3 years in jail.
damn.
Yeah, and a lot of people are rightfully saying good job because it's stopping the homophobia of just let people do what they want.
And then you have the
Because
Jair Bolsonaro supporters.
yeah, um, because here's the thing. Yes, there are people in the trans community that are there only to get publicity and to cause problems. Yes, they exist. Don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of people like myself, one of my good friends, who we're just trying to live how we want to live because our brains know we're in the wrong body and we're trying to fix that.
Yeah.
Like a good counter argument someone said to a person that was not a trans believer was they asked that person, if you were thrown in a woman's body, what would you do? And they were like, oh, I would seek medical procedures to get that fixed. And they're like, then what's the difference between that and transgenderism?
Yeah.
They literally used it as your head's just in the wrong body. Because it isn't a thing of you are brainwashed into it. No, there was a study on that. It's impossible, or damn near close, to brainwash someone to the point where they would do that.
Yeah.
Because even impressionable children, if they know they're not going to do something, it takes a lot to get them to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
Um, and like I always knew there was something wrong with myself. I've always been a hermit when it came to my body because I didn't know why until I was 20. And I had a eureka moment because I got misgendered once. I was actually called a woman. And it just sparked a whole, like, a puzzle piece perfectly fitting of that's it. And it just started this whole transition for me. And it made me go, man, I wish that had happened sooner. Because it means I could have been either much farther on my journey or at least I could have been having a better foothold.
Yeah. I do feel like in terms of like gender affirming care and like the process of transitioning
Yeah.
for younger children, I do feel uh it they should at least wait until they're adults in
Yes,
order
I
to
agree.
actually
So
get that
that's
care.
something that's been a very hot topic in the trans community and just the LGBT community in general. Is with I think knowledge should be available to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It should be freely available. I don't think like if you were to teach a child, we'll say like seventh grader who's taking the sex ed class, what I would do is I would say, hey, it's okay if you like the same gender or a different gender or no gender. That's fine, and leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, just give the basics of the sex ed class. Tell them it's okay if you want to be open minded and try new things, but then don't do anything else. Leave it at that, and be like, if you are interested in more information, you can find plenty of information in your library. There's plenty of knowledge on books and on the internet to find good sources for information to learn.
Yeah.
Because Here's the thing. I get it being a problem having drag show or drag queens come in to do like book reading for kids. Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. What's the difference between that and having your politicians come in or your religious people? Like
Yeah.
it's a group of people very closely tied to a very specific role, so politicians, religion and the LGBT. The problem is it's a group that a certain side a certain set number of people don't like. So, but yeah, my point is just if you're gonna have a problem with a group of them coming into a school to do just stuff with kids, don't be a hypocrite and then be like, oh no, it's fine if this group comes in though.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
don't be a hypocrite. Yes, I think that there should be rules and stuff in place so that still protects the kids. So like you have to wear clothes that are not super revealing, like stuff like that. I still stand by the point of if like a tank top being worn by a girl is a problem for teachers and children, that's not the girl's problem. That is your problem.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if you are getting distracted by a girl in a tank top and shorts because it's hot outside, that is your problem, not her problem.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I wish would get drilled into people's head. Because I guarantee you, if that was taught more of respect women and don't do stupid shit and get distracted by skin, we wouldn't have as many problems with sexual assault and harassment.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee, like, in schools, we wouldn't have all these really dumb rules of girls have to wear they have to be sweating so much because they can't wear clothes to help cool them off. Because they're forced to wear basically like sweat. They have to wear like jeans and almost like shirts that come like almost here because the school tells them they have to.
Yeah.
And I know some schools are better about it and some are worse, but I'm just generalizing. So that was a massive tangent I didn't mean to go on.
I mean, like
Just
we brought it up. So.
yeah, it's just that I very quickly took over that conversation.
I mean, like, it'd be like, yeah, it's sort of your topic.
Yeah, it is one of those topics where it's one of those that I'm very, very heated about because the solution is so simple, but it's just people want to make it more problems, and it's just
Yeah,
like, okay,
it's also like it's a life that you yourself are specifically living.
yes, maybe not specifically with the girls in school, but it's still a point of
Yeah.
stop getting distracted by fucking 12 and 13-year-old girls in a fucking tank top.
Yeah, it's just.
Now, I get it. There is a level of revealing that is too far. I will agree. But if it's just a tank top, that is your problem, not the girls.
Yeah.
Now, if they're wearing like a crop top or like the more like really revealing stuff, yeah, that might be pushing it. Like, I get that. But if it's just like a tank top and it's not showing anything other than like obviously shoulders and whatnot, like the normal of revealing,
Yeah.
which I hate that I have to say that way because how the people are these days.
Yeah.
Which, when it comes to skin and it being a problem, that is religion's fault. I want to point that out. That is a big religion thing. I think specifically with Christianity. I
Yes.
think.
Yes. Very
I
much
was
so.
gonna I was gonna say correct me on that if I'm wrong, because I know you are more the religious person and you know at least a little bit here and there
Well,
more
not
than I do.
religious person, but like
You know more than I do.
yes.
Just because I know in certain religions, if certain morals weren't in place, mostly because of Christians, and I'm not trying to badmouth Christians. Let me say this: it's just some of the rules are dumb. I'm just gonna say that right now. But
Yeah.
um, I know in some religions they could give a fuck less how much skin you show, and I think some of them are even more of your like some of your Asian religions. If there weren't the popular populace's moral in place of revealing clothing or skin, I don't think it'd be that big of a problem of people showing their skin.
Yeah.
But the problem is modern society has kind of been so hardly affected by what Christian morals are that the world laws have been morphed around it. Oh. So his camera's overheating and I'm overheating here because it's 110 with humidity. Because yay, heat waves are great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but mind
Yeah.
you, want to point out it's only like 70 for him,
Yeah, it's 70 degrees for me over here and raining.
and I'm broiling over here in 90% humidity and like 103 degrees.
Yeah.
Feels like 100, or I think it's like 98 feels like 103.
Mm-hmm.
96 feels like 110. It's gotten hotter in the last half hour.
Damn.
So, yeah, fun. But to finish up my topic on just, yeah, if I've always been asked what would I wish if I were given 3 wishes from a genie. One of the first ones I would wish is that religion didn't have such a huge effect on the law,
Yeah.
because if because there's a very good thing that I think the founding fathers did, which was the separation of state and church. The problem is that is no longer a thing, and the church and state are now like pumping each other.
Yeah.
So it's because originally it was supposed to be the church does their thing, the state does their thing. They don't do anything to benefit the other. But now they're so merged and intertwined that the separation of state and church no longer exists in some places. I know in some states they've done better about getting that fixed.
Specifically, weirdly enough, New Jersey.
But I've heard New Jersey, it's a lot of people don't take shit. And if they know something's wrong, they go out of their way to make sure it's heard that it's wrong. And I think California is another state that's been doing it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely California.
So it's so expensive out there, so. But moving topics, because we've been on that topic, I think, for like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, yeah. Sort
Moving
of
on,
moving.
so something Ivan threw out as an idea that we could do for this video was sharing our favorite games. I'm assuming all time, you said?
Yeah,
Okay, so we both in the Discord we have each of our 5 favorite games, but they are hidden, so we can't see the others' choices yet. And to make it more fun, we were going to take some guesses and see if we could figure out at least some of the list of our each other's.
yeah. So,
Ivan said he's pretty sure he knows at least what 3 of mine.
I know. Yeah. I think I know. I at least know 3 of yours. I think I have all of them.
I don't know. You might. If you get all of them, I will be surprised. I think I know 2 or 3 of yours. I know one for absolute certain. The
Yes.
others, I'm not sure.
Yes. What?
So,
Yeah. One you know of absolute certainty because
yeah,
I've mentioned it a lot. But the
yes,
other 4 I barely ever mention on the podcast.
yeah. It's really gonna test my remembrance of games he's talked about throughout the years of us being friends.
Yeah.
So I'll go first since I'm less sure, and because make it more interesting. So obviously I know what one of them is. Smash Bros. Melee.
Yeah. That's very
Yeah,
obvious.
like that's a given. He talks about it almost every podcast stream, I think.
Pretty much. I mentioned
um,
it very briefly today so far. But,
yes. Um,
but yes.
so
So
as for the other games, I want to say one of the Castlevania games.
you are very wrong. So what I wanted to do what I want to do right now is actually so we'll we'll start we have our top ranked
Yeah.
right now.
So
So
we have ours already filled out. It's just a matter of
yeah,
just
yeah. So
guessing for fun.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna put the put our predictions on
yeah,
screen in
yeah.
post. So
And then
as
you'll
we go
know what
on,
they
we'll
actually were.
realize. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
I want you to start off with what is your number 5?
My number 5?
Yes. What is your number 5?
Okay. So do you know your predictions?
Yes.
Okay. So my number 5 um is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay. That was not on my list.
Yes. So I was really debating between 4 and Ultimate. And I decided to go with Ultimate specifically because everything I liked in 4 did get carried over to Ultimate and more.
Okay.
Mainly
Yeah.
being Robin felt more fun.
Mm.
And I'll say this, the DLC, as much flame as it does get, all of the characters except fuck you, Steve, for how broken you are all really fun. I really love Pyrrha, Mithra, Sephiroth. I even liked Kazuya for the little bit I played him. Terry actually became one of my mains for a while. Like, a lot of the characters are fun. So, moving on to number 4.
Okay.
This one
Now,
is a
now,
curve.
okay.
Oh yeah, you're number 5.
Yeah.
You're number 5.
Now, my number 5. My number 5. You probably would have never guessed this.
Probably not.
Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
Really? Huh.
Specifically the DS version.
Huh. Also, when you told me to put the thing in the chat, I didn't realize you wanted my predictions.
I literally said predictions.
Son of a bitch. I put my actual list.
Okay.
Oh well, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. So,
I think I said like 4 or 5 different games, so you could just throw those in there.
yeah. So,
So, anyway, continue on.
Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. So
I can see it, but
yeah,
I don't remember you talking about it a whole lot.
yeah. So obviously we've talked about how much like we both of us loved Star Wars,
Yes.
and so when I first got my ideas, one of the first games, one of the games that was in the case that came with the game, because
Right.
I sort of stole it from my grandpa, because
Right.
it was just at his house, uh, uh,
Yeah.
while we were cleaning it out after he had passed away. So one of the games that was with it was Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga,
Okay.
and, and I played this game to death. I I've fully completed this game at least like 5 or 6 times.
Fair enough.
And so much so that I've actually like full on 100% in it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's such a good game. It's so much fun. I don't really like the Wii version because
That's fair.
because of the fact that it has Wiimote nunchuck controls, and I don't like that. It's not very good.
That yeah. Wiimote Nunchuck is not great for most games.
But weirdly enough, a lot of speedrunners specifically use the Wiimote nunchuck
I
because
believe. Yeah, I
because
think it's
because
faster.
of the fact that it's Wiimote nunchuck. No, not because it's faster, but because it's easier to do multiplayer.
Mm, hmm.
Because there's a lot of there's specific speedrunning strats that you need to do.
Where
Uh,
you need a multiple people.
yeah,
Yeah.
where you need to play multiplayer. So it's just
Yep.
easier to do them on Wiimote and nunchuck than it is to do with like just two controllers stacked on top of each other,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. So, moving on to my number 4. So, my number 4 is my first ever game I ever played growing up. This is literally the first game I ever played. Diablo 2.
That was your first, really? Damn.
That was my first game at the age of 6, I think. My parents asked me if I wanted to play some video games. I played Diablo 2 with them, and that started this whole spiral of me playing video games. So, yeah, I did look at your predictions. You got 2 of them right. And Diablo 2, I knew Diablo 2 you were never going to think of
Yeah,
because I
I
barely
wouldn't have
talked
gotten
about it.
that.
And I still play Diablo 2 mostly because it also came out on PlayStation, so I know I could play it on Resurrected.
Yeah.
Um, and I've sank decent amount of hours into Diablo 2. I don't play it as much now because other games like Monster Hunter Rise, Dead by Daylight, and other games like that have taken up my time. But
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do go back and I play it every now and then. And it's not the garbage cesspool that is Diablo 4. So,
Yeah.
and I paid for that. Me and my brother both paid for the game, and now only he plays it.
Damn.
So, yeah. Moving on to your number 4.
So my number 4. This is another game that is sort of a curveball that you'll never get. Mafia 2.
See, that one doesn't shock me as much as Star Wars does. Like, it makes sense.
Really?
Yeah, just because Mafia 2, I've heard really good stuff about it.
Yeah. So I a while back, sometime like last year, I
Okay.
bought the Mafia series on PC, and I played through the entirety of the Mafia series on PC.
Right.
And Mafia 2 was
Just
just so
stuck with
good.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mafia 2 stuck with me. Oh, it was so good. And
Yeah.
also, also more specifically, this is the one that takes place in New York.
Oh, yeah, that
So
helps.
so so yeah, there's a little bit of bias there,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's just like the story, the atmosphere, the gameplay, the characters. It threw me for a loop how good it was.
Yeah. Um. So, moving on to my number 3. This is the one you actually got correct. One of
Really?
them. Final Fantasy 14.
Okay.
You did get that correct. I have sunk so much time into 14. It is one of the only big MMORPGs, which for people that don't know what that is a multiplayer, um,
Massively multiplayer
role,
online RPG.
yeah, role playing game.
Yeah.
So World of Warcraft, Guild Wars,
Warcraft
go,
2.
yeah, um, you're, yeah, and Final Fantasy 14 has the one that I've stuck with for multiple reasons. One, much healthier community than
Oh yeah.
WoW, or WoW is known for its toxicity, and 14's actually been overtaking WoW because 14 has a community that cares about it, a dev team that cares about the game, and is still getting DLC that are actually well put together. So, and I've sunk probably close to 1,000 hours in 14, which is small numbers compared to some of my friends, but I don't have the time. um, that being said, I definitely really like 14. If I was to pick a DLC that out of the main stories, because they're all in segments of DLCs, Shadowbringers is definitely my favorite,
Mm.
but that's getting more nitpicky. Um, but I definitely plan on supporting 14 until either the game dies out, which I doubt it'll happen soon, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and
Okay.
moving on to yours.
Yeah. So my number 3, I haven't mentioned on the podcast at all. I have mentioned it to you, uh,
Okay.
a fair bit back, way back when.
Okay.
And that's Epic Mickey.
Yes, I remember that. Yes, I remember you talking about Epic Mickey years ago.
Yeah.
I think that was when I was still living out there.
Yeah. So for the longest time, Epic Mickey was my number 1 until I started
Yeah,
playing my number 2 and number 1. But that Epic Mickey was like the only like Mario type of game that I actually liked playing.
yeah,
And the way that I even managed to get Epic Mickey, it was actually really cool because so my uncle down in Florida, he used to work at we used to work at the Disney World.
okay.
Yeah.
So you literally could have been that kid that being like, my uncle works at Disney.
I sort of was, but so and
uh,
around around that time that this game was coming out, I don't know what year it was. I don't feel like looking for it too much, but yeah, around the time
Early
that
2000s.
yeah, like probably 2008 or something like that, 2007,
Yeah,
somewhere around there. Uh, when that game it came out and I saw like trailers of it, because I watched a lot of Disney as a kid, and I mean a lot
right.
of Disney. when I saw that game, I was like, oh my gosh, that game looks so much fun. I really want to play it. And oh my gosh, it's on the Wii. I can actually play it. But like
Yeah.
my parents are just like kind of vehemently against video games,
Yeah.
so I wasn't gonna ask them to get me it. But then like Christmas comes around,
Yeah.
and my uncle from Florida, he sent gifts to me and me, my sister, and my brother.
Right.
I forgot. I completely forgot what them two got, but he managed to send me a copy of Epic Mickey, the one game that I really wanted to play.
So it was just like, yes.
I I was so hyped. I got super excited, and
Yeah.
this was another game that again I played to death because
Oh, I bet.
again it was like one of the only games I even had to play,
Yeah.
and and also this was the first game I decided to speed run before I
Oh,
even knew,
really?
yeah, before I even knew what speed running was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this game just has like just massive amounts of nostalgia for me.
Right. Um, moving on to my number two.
Hmm.
So my list kind of just shifted because I remembered a game in my head just now. So originally it was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and
Ah, Monster Hunter
it's kind.
4.
Yeah, you had Monster Hunter 3,
I yeah,
and I was like,
I
you're
was
close.
close.
You're close. So there's actually a tie right now in my head for second, and that is between Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and the game I just remembered, and I can't believe I forgot it, Sonic Heroes.
Ah,
And I know I've talked a lot about Sonic Heroes because, and I think I've talked about it at least on here once or twice. I know we brought up Sonic at some point.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's a game I still hope gets at least a remaster of just or a reboot onto modern consoles. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
But Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate was my introduction into the series of Monster Hunter by a friend of ours named Robbie, or it was Dante, one of the two. Introduced me into Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and then that just sparked me playing the series. I went back, played Monster Hunter 3. I've gone back as far as I think playing Monster Hunter 1 at a game store,
Mm.
and I've just been a fan of the series ever since. And then with Sonic Heroes, I spent so much time on the GameCube playing that I don't think I ever 100% completed it because 100%ing that game is really hard. Um, but I definitely put a lot of time into that game,
Mm. Uh,
especially because. Go ahead.
uh, I was gonna say, weirdly enough, my first ever game that I ever played on console was Sonic Heroes.
That doesn't surprise me because Sonic Heroes was like the thing
Yeah,
at the time. Um, hell, I think it gotten so popular that people started saying that there was going to be a sequel to the game.
there never was.
No, there should have been, but there
Yeah,
wasn't.
but we got Adventure 2 Battle. That's like the closest.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna get Adventure 3." No, we're not.
No, we're never. Well, technically, technically speaking, '06 is supposed to be Adventure 3.
Yeah, but people don't want to call it Adventure 3 because of how bad it was.
Yeah,
And
it's also not called Adventure 3. It's just called it's
Sonic
just called
06, yeah.
no, it's just called Sonic the
Sonic the
Hedgehog.
Hedgehog. Yeah. We
But
call it Sonic 06 because it came out in 2006.
yeah,
Um, and if you just say Sonic the Hedgehog, you could be talking about like 13 different games.
yeah.
So, I know there is a community mod called Project 06, I think is what it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and it's them basically fixing the game and actually making it fun. Because a
Yeah.
lot of the problems that came with 06 was it was rushed. They
Oh,
were not given time
it
to
was
finish the
so
game.
rushed.
And a lot of people have said they'd like Sega to go back and, polish the game and actually show us the finished product of an actually completed Sonic 06.
Yeah, but Sega's not going to do that
No.
because
So I will say,
Sega doesn't know what they're doing now.
no. Though I've heard Sonic Frontiers is actually not bad. It's a different, I think it's called Frontiers. Yeah. the newest one.
Oh yeah.
Um, I've heard that one's really good for being an open world Sonic game, but
Mm-hmm.
it takes a really dark turn. But from what I've heard, it's because of how they're doing the story for that game. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a more darker and more solemn game instead of the very upbeat and cocky Sonic we've had. And so, yeah. But yeah, that's my number 2.
All right.
it's
Now for my number 2. This is also a
either
game. This is also a game that I've just talked to you about in general, not
yeah.
specifically on the podcast.
I have a pretty good idea what your number 1 is, and
Yeah.
it's the one I already said, which is
Yeah.
Melee.
Yeah. My number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. Not this one. The it's technically prequel / sequel.
Yes. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about Red Dead. I could never get into the games, but I never stopped anyone from trying them and enjoying them. So
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of the GTA series, specifically 5. And
GTA 5 is good.
and like I like a lot of like old history stuff, and
Yeah.
and playing Red Dead 2 it was such a good game. The
Yep.
amount of awards that it got uh, uh,
Yeah.
at
I
the Game
played Red
Awards
Dead
when it
1
came out.
or Red Dead Redemption 1 because there's Dead Red Dead Redemption and then I think Red Redemption 2 or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I actually have Red Dead, the
Yeah.
original one.
But I played Red Dead Redemption 1 and I enjoyed it. It was a fun game to just run around and fuck around in.
Yeah,
Um
it was an because the original game was an Unreal shooter.
yeah. Um But then I went to GTA and I tried GTA 4, San Andrea, GTA 5. I even tried Vice City. And out of those, San Andrea and 5 were probably the ones that I played the most. I did play a decent amount of 4 before 5 came out. Um, but I think if you really want to just have a fun GTA experience, either go play the original San Andrea, do not play the remaster. It's a buggy mess.
Yeah, it's not good. I played it. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Go it's not hard to find PS2s or yeah, PS2s and be able to play San Andrea. Like
I actually have it on original Xbox.
or original Xbox. Either way, it's not hard to find those old consoles anymore.
Oh yeah,
So, and for decent, you might have to pay like $300 for them. But here's the thing: those old games are worth going back and playing.
it's
Or
yeah,
you didn't hear it from us, you could emulate. Just saying.
yeah. But yeah, back to my thing. Red Dead Redemption 2, like it won so many awards, and I didn't understand it at the time. And then 3 years later, it was on sale on Steam, so I bought it
Right?
because I actually had money at the time, and I played through the game. Or no. First, I played it on PS4 because that was the game that my cousin was playing at the time, and
Right?
he was gonna give us his PS4 because just why not?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and so he's like, if you finish Red Dead Redemption for me, I'll give you the PS4. I'm just like, okay. I spent 3 nights. I was up for 3 nights playing that game. It was so good, and
Yeah, it's a good game.
and then when we officially got the PS4, I kept playing it again.
Yeah.
It's so right now I've played the entirety of the story at least like 4 times.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's such a good game. Just the mechanics, the story, the characters, the visuals. Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a good game.
Yep.
I hope that they remaster the first one, like this one specifically,
Yep.
uh, in, having it play like Red Dead 2. But right now, unfortunately, what they did is just they ported this to the Switch
Yep.
and PS4. And I'm just like, why?
Yeah, they're lazy.
Give me a remaster.
Yeah, they were lazy with that.
And
Um,
here's the thing: it's not Rockstar's fault. It's Take Two.
yeah,
Take Two Interactive is why Rockstar's kind of failing right now.
yeah.
And,
Um,
the reason why I I can't really play this is because for some reason every time I try to play this game on my 360, it's just a completely glitchy mess.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. It it could be my copy, it could be my system. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have to try Undead Nightmare, which I also have a physical copy of. Uh,
right,
in order to or even get the PS3 version to see if it's the game itself. But yeah,
right.
I've been trying to play Red Dead One for so long now, but it's such a glitchy mess.
Yeah. Um, so moving on to our number ones. So it's pretty obvious what Ivan's number one is. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube. Yeah. Now, my number one, and it's the only other game Ivan actually got right in his predictions. And if you want to say it, because you should know which one I'm talking about.
Is it Smite?
No, it is Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, okay.
So, um, because I saw your predictions. So I with Smite. So I'll go over your predictions and the two you got wrong and why I can see why you got those for your predictions. So with Final Fantasy 12, it is one of the most bipolar opinionated Final Fantasy games out of the series.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen such a split opinion on a Final Fantasy game, and it's either you like it or you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I've not seen many people that are just like it's a good game. Um, so and I'm one of the few people or one of the people that love the game. I've sunk thousands of hours into the game, which is more than I should for a game that's pretty straightforward. But there's a lot you can do in the game for the side content if you want to go for it.
Hmm.
But yes, I will admit the problems of the game. The main characters are not great at the beginning. I get that. But if you're a fan of the Final Fantasy series and you stuck with 15 and all those other ones, you can handle 12. Especially if you like 13. I'm sorry, if you like 13, you can handle 12. Because I have seen the characters in 13, and some of them are the most edgy teenage stupidity that I've seen. Except for Saz, but I don't get into that now. But yeah, Final Fantasy 12 is my number one game. It probably always will be because unless something happens where another game takes it over. But as it stands, Final Fantasy 12 is by far my favorite video game that I've ever played.
Yeah, I knew that both of the Final Fantasies that you
Yeah,
play were gonna be on your list.
yeah. I will say, so to go over your list, Monster Hunter 3, you were so close. You were so
I was
close.
I was literally one off.
Yeah, you were one off. So
Technically two
with
because three try.
yeah, three. So it's try 3 and then 3 ultimate. They're fucking weird with that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, with Smite, I have a love-hate relationship for the game.
Mm.
Um, so I like Smite, but I can never sink the hours into it that I want to because every time I go to, they change the fundamentals of the game every fucking time.
Yeah, I
So I
know.
have to relearn the game from the bottom up, and it's just like fucking a. Keep it consistent, damn it.
This is why I don't have more than 1,000 hours in the game.
Yeah. Um, because they came out with Charon, and I'm like, oh cool, I'll try and learn him. And then this update that's about to come out in like 5 days or something is gonna change a bunch of fundamental shit, and I'm like, motherfuckers. Um, Now moving on to the other one, which kind of was a curveball because out of the Pokemon series, Black and White is definitely up there in my top 5, but I don't know if it's my favorite of the Pokemon series. But Black and White is absolutely fucking worth the time. Absolutely. I actually think. Hold on. Do I have it in right here? I don't. I do. So I do have a copy of Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate.
Oh damn.
I do have a copy of it. So I actually have. Actually, it's probably in my brother's room because I set my 3DS in there with Pokemon Black and White and then Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Yeah.
Um, because I still have my copy of that. from when I was in New York.
Damn.
It's still the same copy. That is one of the few games I have that I kept for that long. That and something else. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, Pokemon Black and White. I've finished it a couple of times. It's definitely one of the more difficult in the series, not including the new stuff.
Well,
Because
the new stuff is easy.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are pretty difficult,
I don't
but
know.
they're also
I haven't played it
they're
yet, so.
they're buggy messes and they are not worth it.
Oh, I'm aware.
And Legends Arceus. So after finally beating Legends Arceus, fuck the final boss of that game. Fuck him. I get it. You are supposed to be Cynthia's ancestor. Fuck you. You had like 6 Pokemon, technically 7. Go fuck yourself. Or sorry, 7, technically 8.
Hmm.
It's like, cool. I get it. You're supposed to be the big bad final boss, but go fuck yourself. Anyway, moving on to Melee.
Yeah. So see, the reason why Melee is my number one, is because just everything about the game is like it's just it feels good to play. I've sunk at least like 2 or 3 thousand hours in this game.
Yeah,
I don't know
easily.
how to check that because Dolphin doesn't have that feature,
Yeah. Um.
and that's what I played Melee on most. I do have
Yeah.
again. I
But
obviously I
again,
have a way to
yeah.
play it physically. It's in my hand, but
But even that doesn't tell you exact times.
I mean, like it sort of does because I have the Wii, and that tells you.
Oh, yeah.
And
So,
also on the GameCube itself, like if you look at the save data essentially
yeah.
on the GameCube memory card, which I actually have in here specifically.
Yeah. Um.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. So
if you look at
if you've been paying attention to the podcast, it should have been a pretty obvious what Ivan's number one game is, seeing how often he talks about it.
oh yeah, it's it's
So
it's part of the whole reason why I have so many. It's part of the reason why I have
GameCube.
so many freaking GameCube controllers.
Yeah. Um. So, but yeah. Um. But I think it's funny that out of both of our top fives, there's only one game we technically share in a series, and that's Smash.
Yeah, and it's not even the same
Um.
Smash.
No, it's actually 3 generations apart.
Yeah.
Because in between those, there was Smash Brawl, which if either of us had that as our favorite, I think we'd be called a hypocrite.
Oh yeah, I don't like Brawl.
I don't either. And then Smash 4, which we went over that why that wasn't there for me. And then Ivan just prefers Melee. I prefer Ultimate. And
Yeah.
we both have our own reasons, and they're both pretty well justified.
Yeah, yeah, we both have valid reasons as to why we put
Yeah.
Melee and Ultimate in our
Yeah.
top five.
So yeah. Um Definitely I can't say I'm super I will say your bottom 2 definitely caught me off guard. But to be fair, my bottom 2 also caught you off guard.
Yeah, because you don't really talk about Diablo.
Because I know none of you guys care about it, so I don't bring it up.
Oh, that's very true. Of the group that
Because
we talk to,
no one gives a fuck about half
yeah,
of the shit out of Blizzard.
yeah. I mean, like David and them do, but like Johnny and
Oh,
them, no.
no. And Ultimate, if I talk about Ultimate a decent amount, but if anyone was gonna guess my favorite for Smash, they probably would say 4 before Ultimate.
Yeah,
But like I said, I would have said 4, but Ultimate just is 4 but better.
yeah,
So, and then my top 3, technically top 4 if you want to be specific with second place. All were pretty well obvious.
yeah. I was actually thinking of putting Minecraft in my top five, but then I'm just like, nah.
See, I thought about putting Terraria because I've sunk about 3,000 hours into that. But then I'm like, that's mostly because of the modding community. I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah, sort of. I guess I don't know. But
It would, if it was on the list, it'd probably be there was Smash.
yeah, probably.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
Smite is probably like my seventh or eighth game.
yeah. I'm gonna assume you probably thought that Fire Emblem was gonna be somewhere in my top five.
I definitely did. To be fair, I also thought you were gonna predict that I was gonna put Conquest on my list somewhere, with how fucking much I played that.
I knew I knew that Fire Emblem wasn't gonna be on your list
Yeah.
because you're not as much of a Fire Emblem head as I am.
No. Though I did have a copy of Awakening. Um,
Yeah,
but
which weirdly enough I don't.
I had it and then I had to sell it because I was dealing with money problems, so I had to sell a lot of stuff.
Mm,
Um, Thankfully I didn't sell my 4 Ultimate, which I
yeah,
was very torn about selling, so I didn't. So, um, yeah.
yeah.
So
I need.
that's our top 5 favorite games for of all time. Yes, we could have definitely narrowed it down to like your favorite games of this generation. But trying to do that, we would have to literally look at games and be like, okay, what came out in this generation or what this.
I'm like only one of the games on my list even is from this generation,
Yeah, same.
and it came out
Well,
like 4 years ago.
yeah. Technically, 14 is still current gen, but it's a hard only because they're still giving it new DLC that keep making the game be current.
Yeah,
And Smash Bros. Oh, I guess 2 Smash Bros. Did come out technically this gen.
yeah.
So, um,
Again,
4
still a game from
Ultimates.
again, still a game from 5 years ago, but still within this generation, still relevant.
Yeah. Um, so, yeah. Uh, I was talking to my friends earlier today, and we were talking about the hot steaming piece of garbage in the corner that is Activision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, MW3 is getting a lot of flack right now. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you guys just let Call of Duty die, please.
Please, it's the
Let it
same
die.
game. It's been the same game every year since Black Ops
Yep.
2.
I will give this Black Ops, the series for Black Ops up until 4, because 4 was the one that kind of killed it. Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 were all very solid games, all worth their merit. Then they started the downhill of just crap game after crap game after crap game.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to get into Blizzard's side of crap games, looking at Diablo 4, looking at what
Overwatch
is
2.
WoW, Overwatch. Ooh, I could go all day on Overwatch 2. Oh, I could go on a tangent about that one alone. Overwatch 2 had so much potential and they ruined it.
Yeah.
Especially when you know the guy that created the fucking game was like, nah, I'm done with you guys, bye. I wish he could have just told Blizzard, hey guys, fuck you, I'm taking my game. Screw you. But he
Yeah.
couldn't because it was so integrated into Blizzard that there was nothing he could do.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of these games are that are coming out from these like big AAA companies are just so bad right now. Is because of how like broken their mentality is within the gaming
Well,
community.
not only their broken mentality, they're so money hungry that they're just putting microtransactions everywhere. They're turning into fucking EA.
Yeah,
Or no,
like yeah,
Ubisoft. EA and Ubisoft. Like,
yeah.
and look at where they're at now. No one really wants to touch them with a 5-foot pole.
Yep. Well,
Um,
the new Assassin's Creed is looking like it's
yeah.
going back to form at least.
Well, after their success with Valhalla, I think they finally realized, okay, this is the tone we're hitting. Let's just stick with it.
Yeah.
Like Valhalla was the kind of the thing of, oh, this is what we need to be doing, and then now they're figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
EA is just now a game company for sports games.
Yeah, I do want to touch on two examples of what's really good in the gaming community,
Yeah,
and that's Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's 3.
I can't say much about Tears of the Kingdom because I haven't played it. Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, I've been hearing a lot of good out of it.
Yeah, and the triple AAA companies, uh, are complaining about the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 is so good
You don't
because
want to know why?
I know why, because like the thing they're saying is like such a bad mentality that
Yeah.
it's the reason why their games are bad. It's just like, oh, don't expect us to make things this good.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And everyone's just
but
like,
why?
okay, so you're being lazy.
Yeah,
Like, that's the thing, is everyone's like, oh, well, these companies aren't going to make this kind of quality. And it's like, because they don't have the fucking effort.
yeah,
Like, here's the thing. If Cyberpunk 2077 had been given the time and the constraint of being on new gen only, I definitely could see it on the level of Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah. Like if Cyberpunk was like properly given the time, the way that The Witcher 3 was,
It definitely would be a contender for really good games.
oh yeah,
Um, so, and the other thing I know with Baldur's Gate 3 that really helps it is they're just doing whatever they want. They don't give a care about ESRB or anything like that.
yeah,
Because I think it's a rated M game or rated something. I think it's an adult game basically for
yeah,
rating. And
yeah,
here's the thing: as much as I would like to say ESRB is good, it's not. It's a joke. Because here's the thing: most kids nowadays that have gaming consoles can literally go onto the store and just whoop, buy the game.
yeah.
Um, and I just wish more games would just say, "Fuck it, just go wild, do whatever you want." Do what we did back in like the early 2000s when gaming was starting. Just do what you want.
Yeah.
The problem is it's now a thing of, oh, well, we have to conform to what the community wants and what money wants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of just become a joke.
Yeah. It's there's like no T-rated games out there right now.
No, it's either they're rated E or they're rated M.
Mm-hmm.
Because ESRB has become a joke.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like to the people that are like, oh, well, you're saying that you want games that are like just like, oh, how do I put it? Has basically nudity running around. I'm like, no, that is not what I'm saying.
That's not the point.
What? No. Yes, I will say Cyberpunk was definitely very pushing their buttons on risk for if that game was going to come out or not with having the nudity and all that in it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it sold well, not just because of that, but because the story was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a decent story. Is it buggy? Yes, but they've also started fixing a lot of those bugs. And a lot of those bugs don't show up unless you're on old gen console,
Yeah.
which feels weird to call PS4 and Xbox One old gen.
Yeah.
As someone that owns a PS5 sitting right in front of me. So, because that's something a friend of mine who's still on PS4 is now kind of coming to realize is a lot of these new games aren't coming out on PS4 or Xbox One anymore. Because
Yeah.
it's the similar thing that happened with PS3 and PS4 is the PS4 is getting phased out. Because more people are able to get the PS5 because it's more in stock.
Yeah.
So, does it suck for PS4 owners? Absolutely. It absolutely does suck. But that's how it works. We get new hardware and eventually the old hardware gets phased out.
Yeah.
That's how we grow our technology.
At least
So,
that's how we're supposed to. But the
yeah.
thing with the gaming industry is that uh there's a lot of nostalgia that
Yes.
takes place, which is why a lot of the older systems uh and a lot of the older games specifically tend to get higher in price uh, 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 down the line
Mm-hmm.
because of how like ingrained into our minds like video games were in our childhood.
Exactly. Oh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So I wanted to talk a little bit about Fire Emblem.
okay.
So so I had to stop playing Engage, because
Okay.
it's just so bad. I can't. I really can't continue it. I might continue it in the future, but it's just
Yeah.
I can't play it.
Well, and here's the thing. I like Engage, but here's the thing. Not everyone is gonna like a game. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but
Um.
so not too long ago, Nintendo finally released Fire Emblem 7 on Nintendo Switch Online.
Right.
So and I wanted to find a way to transfer my old save file onto the Switch in order to like not continue or not to start from the beginning all over again,
Right.
because I was already like more than halfway through the game.
Yeah. You talked about it last episode.
Yeah, but then now I'm just like, oh, screw it. I'll just start from the beginning.
Right.
So
Um.
yeah, I
Yeah.
started from the beginning about a month ago, uh, and then I had to take and then I finally got to where I had left off last time, which was chapter 19. I finally got there last Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and now I'm a little bit further, but I had to take like a week off from playing Fire Emblem because I needed to practice Ultimate because I had a tournament
Right.
because I have a tournament coming
Yeah.
up. Then I gave up on
Yeah.
practicing the game, so I'm just like, let me just continue playing Fire Emblem. Screw it.
Yeah. There you go. Um.
Yeah, and right
So.
right now I'm on chapter 24. It's so difficult
Oh, I bet.
because the so, one, there's a lot of enemies. Two, the the main boss of of this chapter. One, he every time he attacks, he hits twice.
Yikes.
And two, he does insane damage.
Almost seems like you have to have like someone super tanky, and then a lot of ranged characters.
No, not a lot. I have a lot of range characters, but the thing is, they're not effective at all because he's a lancer. So
Oh, fucking of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
so he has the javelin, so he has a ranged weapon. So every time he
Yeah.
attacks, he attacks from range, which
Yep.
is annoying because my
So you
tanky
need
character, yeah,
axe character. Is it axes?
yeah,
Yeah, it's axes.
but he also has an insane amount of health.
Right, because he's a boss.
Yeah, he has like 60 health, and the
Yeah.
closest any of my other characters have is 51.
Damn.
Yeah, and he does, and in one attack, or in one turn, he brings that character down to 7 health.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 44 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Um. So, well, we've been going for hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might want to start wrapping it up,
Yeah.
especially with this heat. Like, if it wasn't so hot, I would definitely keep going. But I'm starting to feel the heat exhausted, and I think it's starting to show on the camera.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably looking like I'm exhausted over here, and I'm not trying, but it's fucking hot. It's 109.
Yeah.
So, um, probably would have helped if I had some water, but I've only got fucking a bottle of soda next to me, so I need to go get some water. But we got to talk over all of the topics that we wanted to.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Anyway, wrap up. So, want to say thank you guys for watching today. Um, I'm sorry if I'm not as energetic as I usually am. It is 109 degrees with high humidity, and I'm exhausted from it. But I wanted to get the recording. We wanted to get this recording done so that way you guys have new stuff to watch.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching. If you're still watching at this point or listening, I'm Brittany,
I'm Ivan.
and we will see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully in not a month.